Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining. We are going to kick it off real quick here. Janine is going to be talking about goal boards. So I'm giving it on over to Janine.
Okay, so I just finished my Zoom for one of my psychiatric classes. So, and I wasn't gonna do this, but now that I'm hopped on, we're gonna do it. So I have two compensation boards. So one is my compensation, or two goal boards. One is my compensation goal board, and one is my Sensi goal board. So whatever I promote, I always give myself a year for the next promotion. And last year and this year, I'm a superstar consultant. So my next promotion, of course, was director, which was surreal to actually put on the board because I believe I have all my boards from when I was like promote to lead, promote star. So I have them all, which is so cool. But this is what I do, and it's probably going to turn out backwards, which it does. But anyway, I don't know how to flip it. But I just put the compensation goal and then the date that I want to do it by. And so this one says January 31st. And then what I want to promote to, and then what do I have to do to get there? And I have to do this every single month, right? So the first thing you have to do is you have to get your 500 PRV, and then you need your 10,000 GWV, which is 75%, if I'm right, obviously, correct me if I'm wrong, but 75% of your team wholesale volume. So for instance, if you're lead, it's 1,000, which is 1333 PRV. And so it took me a while to wrap my head around about how much PRV is that? And I kept telling Amber, how do I do this? And she's basically, you take your GWV and you divide it by 0.75. That'll tell you how much PRV you want. So when we're crunching numbers and I'm freaking out at the end of the month, I will take my GWV and subtract it. So let's say like last month, I had like 8,000. So I'd take 10,000 minus 8,000 and divide that number by 0.75. And that would tell me how much PWV my team needed. Or PRV my team needed. So anyway, that's just a little thing there. So it's divided by 0.75, and that'll tell you what you need for PRV, because sometimes the GWV just kind of gets you mixed up. You also need 2,000 for director, a team wholesale volume. So with your team, you have a group, and then you have a team, right? So my group is my whole group. For instance, Monica's got people, or Monique's got people, and Lisa has people, and Jennifer Bailey has people. That's my group. But my team is just my team, right? Am I right?
Okay, so I'm going to chime in here. So okay. TWV does not matter unless you have a director under you.
Okay, I knew there was something different.
So TWV and GWV will be exactly the same until you have someone in your group
that's a director.
So let's say that Jennifer Bailey promotes to director. Well, then her TWV will be subtracted from your GWV. So that's why it's always super important to have a strong front line, because when your people under you start promoting and doing great, which we all want them to,
right,
you still have to have that solid foundation of people on your team that haven't broke away once they promote to director to keep that momentum going. Okay, so it just it keeps us legitimate, away from the whole pyramid scheme. It keeps us a legitimate direct sales company that is fair and all the things. Okay,
so until you get a director, don't worry about that part. Okay, but she did bring up the thing about always making sure that I tell my girls to grow wide, because once you get directors underneath you, you're constantly having to fill your bucket, because now you get credit, but it's complicated, but you always want to fill the bucket. And then you need 3 active frontline, right? So sometimes that's hard to get, even with a group of 19 is 3 active frontline. So always grow wide, because the wider you are, the higher your percentages are that you're going to have active frontline. Okay, so this is the
Sorry,
fun
can I
part.
chime in one more
Yeah.
second there too? For the people that are new and watching this, when she talks about growing wide, it really just means that you want to have a solid front line, which means anybody that's a front line is someone that you've sponsored. So you want to grow deep too, which means that your front line gets people under them and gets people under them. Like you want that eventually, but in order to really have a strong foundation of your business, having a good solid front line, people you've sponsored, that is really growing wide. And so that's what she means by that.
So we want wide and we want deep. They're both good. So your pay. So your pay is really, this is what, like, where the bread and butter is, right? And you can find this in your compensation plan. And the easiest place to find your compensation plan is, anybody? Catalog. Okay, the catalog. I don't always have time to jump on the workstation and Google it and find it, although I do use that quite a bit. But page 67, 61, maybe, I can't read it. Compensation plan is right there. Okay, so you will get 25% of your PRV. Now, if you get $2,000 a month, then you automatically get that 5% bonus. So if you are pushing for director, if you're pushing for superstar, star, or even lead, this should be your goal every month. 2,000, plain and simple. 2,000 is what you should be shooting for. And when Amber was telling me that, I'm like whatever, I can barely get 500. But that is like key. And just FYI, I'm a numbers girl, and I didn't even think about it until she said it. But 2,000 PRV is an automatic $600 paycheck. Automatic. Like, you know that your paycheck's going to be no less than $600. Who cannot use $600 extra a month, right? I mean, no brainer. Shoot for that every single month, and then teach your team to shoot for that every single month. So 25% of your PRV, you will get 9% off your wholesale, personal wholesale. So not only will you get 25% of your PRV, this is for director, but you will get 9%, and then, you know, all the other percentages, and they're all different for each title. So how you're going to find that out is your compensation plan. Read your compensation plan. Paycheck. This is on my desk. I stare at it every single day because it reminds me of what I wrote. I had a goal. I wrote it down. I have plans to get to it. I'm working my tail off to get to it, and it's super important. That's compensation goal. One that I find, which is really fun, is your Scentsy business goals, right? So what do you want to do with your business? Why are you doing this? My why changes all the time. It changes all the time. It was buy a house, get property, go to school, take my kids to Disneyland, pay the bills, all the things, right? It changes all the time. It's like, what do I need now, and how is my business going to help me do it? So I always write the date that I put my goal at. So my Scentsy goals, I always start with the date. And I wrote this one August 6th. I changed this because the one that I had before, I met everything. I did all the goals. I'm so excited. So my new long-term goal is I want to see a $2,000 paycheck in 1 month. Now, last month I was so close. So close. I was so excited. But I want to see that paycheck of $2,000 in 1 month. I want to see my pay portal say, you just got a $2,000 a month paycheck. So that's huge for me. My short-term goal is I want to do Walt Disney World. Last goal board, my long-term goal was an incentive trip. I earned Bermuda, so I got to redo it. So I'm totally excited. How much do you need a month? I think this is really good. It's just like Amber said a long time ago, she wanted to pay for her daughter's gymnastics or dance lessons or something, and she knew that she needed blank amount of money a month. What do you have to do to get blank amount of money a month? I know that I want no less than $500 a month. What do I have to do do that? So I need at least 2,000 PRV a month, because I know that 2,000 is going to get me $600, right? So do the numbers. What do you have to do to get what you want? What do you have to do? Write it down. Parties, right? I want Facebook and online parties, right? Because that's pretty much all we can do. How many of those do you want to do a month? Write them down. Write them down, right? You want to know how many Facebook and online parties you want a month. I can tell you that I did 30 some hundred PRV last month, like 3,400 PRV. And then the month before that, I was close as well. And I had 4 to 5 parties open. I was like, duh, that's how you do it. I kept seeing all these PRVs on these girls that were promoting to director. It's like, how in the heck are they getting 4,000 PRV? Parties. So, text parties. You can have text parties.
And fundraisers.
Oh yeah, fundraisers are my
And
big
that too. That's another way.
So Facebook parties, online parties, text parties, tote parties, fundraisers. Those are 5 ways right there, right? Facebook, online, whatever, same thing. Text parties, fundraisers, and tote parties. Like, you know, if you want to do that. A pouch party, COVID friendly, right? Don't get them back. Just send a pouch to them. You want, you know, I say 2 to 3 on online, 5 text parties a month. I just put a goal. That's what I want to do. I can get 5 people to give them a personal shopping link. Let them do it. So parties 2 to 3 months, and then recruitment. What am I going to do for recruiting? I want to recruit 1 to 2 people a month. That's my goal. Do I always make it? No. Do I surpass it sometimes? Yes. I recruited 5 in one night the year that I made Bermuda. 5 in one night. It's possible. Open your mouth. You'll open your mouth. You will never know who will join. It's not our job to decide for them, because how many times did Amber ask me? A lot. Training is super big. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm sorry, it's really bad, but training is super big. So this one is Tuesday morning training calls and something else I can't remember. And then YouTube. I can't remember. So Tuesday morning training calls is really big. Oh, team chats. That's what it was. Team chats and group chats. It's training, right? It's training. This is training. Believe it or not. As hokey as it is, all backwards and you can't see. But there you go. I mean, it's like you just need to write them down, right? A goal not written down is something. I don't know the saying, but you have to write your goals down. Compensation goals are huge. These 2 things that I do they're in my face every day. They remind me every single day what I have to do and how I have to work my business. I wish I had stats. I should have been prepared. But I think last year at this time I was a team of 4. This year I'm a team of 19. Same time. So huge growth this year, huge growth. You know, full disclosure, my average paycheck was probably maybe not always 600, because 2,000 a month was just not something I shot for last year. This year, it's like, if that's what I'm doing. I mean, I just do not stop until that happens. Sometimes it doesn't, but I'm always working for that to happen. So kind of gives you an idea of just, you know, when you work your business and you have your goals set in front of you every single day, and you look at them every single day, and you work them every day, and you do everything that you can. I don't spend 8 hours a day on this. I go to school full time. I work full time. I have family full time. So I get up maybe an hour or 2 early in the morning, work my business. Just now during my psych Zoom, I made room spray samples. You know, during my lectures today, I made wax samples. You find the time to work your business, and that's the beauty of this thing. And the beauty of this business is that it can just work in anybody's life. So 100%. That's my spiel tonight for goal boards. I highly recommend that you guys do them. If you take whatever you are now, whether you're essential or certified or lead or star, superstar, whatever, make a compensation goal. You want to promote to whatever that next level is, and what do you have to do that? Because a lot of people will like use the Scentsy dashboard, which is great, and if you just click on that, but you have to know, you know, okay, well, how am I going to get that? How can I get that person to promote? How can I get that person active? Who needs to be active? And, you know, kind of give an idea of what it is you have to do. So anyway,
that was great, Janine. Thank you so much. So a couple of things I took from everything you said is you know, the always having it in front of you, so having your goals written down and not just written down, but put somewhere that you can see them all the time, every day. And then a big thing that you said is updating them. You know, so many times you hit a goal, and then, you know, I'll tell you right now, when I got the Mediterranean cruise, I think I was lost for a good year, because my goal when I started was to earn a trip, and then I earned a trip, and I was like, what do I do now? Even though there's a million other things I could do, in my head I was like, what do I do now? And I didn't write it down. I didn't update my goal board. So I definitely having a goal board, but then also remembering to update it when you hit that goal is so huge. Also, I love that it's simple. It's not like you have to type it out. It has to be pretty and it has to have pictures. Like, it is simple and it is easy and it's perfect, because it just has everything laid out in a simple way. I love that. I also want to say that when you were talking about the $600 a month and the 2,000 PRV, one big thing about that is it's something you can control. You can't control your team selling, promoting. You know, you can encourage and motivate and do the things as a leader, but really the only thing that you can actually control with your paycheck is your sales. So doing that $2,000 a month to get that 30% commission and that automatic $600 paycheck is everything, because you can control that. Also, I want to say, having a big goal. When you do your goal board, also to have maybe a goal that you don't think is attainable, because I do believe that maybe this is the goal you think you could make. This is the goal you made. Well, maybe you'll get right here. Maybe you'll surpass the goal you think you could have gotten. Maybe you won't make the big goal. Maybe you will, but at least you're going to be further than what you would have if you set your bar lower.
Absolutely. Always make that. I use it like my long-term goal is like my big goal.
Yep.
It's like, that's why, you know, earning that incentive trip last year was my big goal. That was the big kahuna, was that.
Yep.
My short-term goal, I can't remember what it was last year, but so this year my long-term goal is that $2,000 a month paycheck. And the reason why that's my big goal is because last year my goals were nowhere near that. Nowhere near that. And I also know that for me to hit that, I'm gonna probably have to promote. And that's huge also. And then my short-term goal, you know, is that incentive trip, but it's also a huge incentive trip, because earning level 2 of this incentive is not easy.
I haven't earned it.
Earning level 1 is not easy.
No, it's not.
No, but it's doable. Obviously, you earn level 1. That's amazing. I'm super close, but it's going to take a lot of work. And so, you know, you have to put those goals out of reach.
100%.
Because if it's something you can attain, you're not going to work hard for it.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to touch real quick on the compensation plan. We have about, I'm going to try to only talk for like 5 to 8 minutes. But I'm going to share my screen here to just kind of show the compensation plan so that you can really see, and then ask any questions that you have. So whether you're watching this, because I am recording it, so I'm going to post it so you guys can watch it as a replay if you want to ask within the comments, or if you're on and you want to ask, here's the time to do it. So the compensation plan is so important. It is your treasure map to the gold, for real. If you want to know how you're getting paid, this is how you see it. It's very clear. Now, once you get up a little bit higher, things can, you know, you're going to have more questions. But pretty much everybody starts as essential, getting 20% commission. You promote to certified consultant once you sell 1,000 PRV, then you bump up to 25% commission. It says it right here. Once you promote to lead, this is when you start getting what we call leadership bonuses. So you're getting these leadership bonuses because you're helping other people succeed. So when somebody joins your team, you have to have, they have to be active. And your team has to have a certain level of wholesale volume in order to promote. So you can't do that on your own. They have to help you do that. So in order to get promoted, you have to help them in a sense. And so you are going to get from leadership bonus commission. So you're going to get 2% bonus off of your own wholesale volume and your PWV. And then you're going to get 2% off of your team, your frontline, essential and certifieds, wholesale volume. Now you're probably thinking 2% off wholesale volume, it's not a lot. Well, no, it's not, but it's something that is given to you as a good job for helping them. So as you see here, once you promote to star, that bumps up to 4% for your frontline, 2% for your frontline lead. A big thing I want everybody to see here is if you're a star consultant and you have somebody else on your team as a star, do you see this box is empty? You don't get anything off of them. It is your job to continue to work your business, continue to have high PRV, share the opportunity, help people grow, and then you would promote to superstar, hopefully, and then you would get a percentage off your star. So you have to still continue to grow. You can't be hanging out doing nothing and your team's growing. You don't get a leadership bonus that way. The only way you get your leadership bonus is showing them the way and being a leader. So that's something, there was a lot of questions about that because there's been a lot of promotions, which is incredible. But I really want everybody to understand that people can surpass you, okay? For example, when I was a director, but I didn't get paid as a director, I was not getting this number, this 10,000. I was only getting some, 7,000, 8,000, whatever it may be. And Miss Janine was a little superstar consultant. My box was empty. So I got nothing off her team when I was not getting paid as a director. So it's not just the title, but you have to get paid at title in order to get those leadership bonus points. Because if I don't get these numbers right here for director, I don't get paid off depending on wherever my title is. Maybe I only get paid as a star consultant. That means I get nothing off anybody that's a star or a superstar under me. But you have to also continue to work your business. This is how we stay a legitimate, good company where we can say we are not a pyramid scheme, because look at this. We all have to work hard in order to get leadership commission bonus, okay? Anybody on have questions?
I don't have any questions, but I just realized that today is my 3-year anniversary with Scentsy.
Oh my gosh! Congratulations! Wow! Well, yeah, that makes sense.
I for whatever reason, I thought it was the 7th, but it's the 4th. So happy 3 years to me.
Happy 3 years. I cannot believe it's been 3 years. I feel like we've been doing this the whole time I've been a consultant. Well, we kind of were because you were my really good customer.
I was your once a year customer.
That's fine. And look where you are now. So here's really where the bread and butter is. And it's really easy to just look here. Here's your goal. Here's where you're at, whatever it may be. And to remember that this is your monthly responsibilities. It says it right here. We all have to do this every single month. If I only sold 200 PRV and you guys did your 50,000 in sales again, I don't get any of these leadership bonus points. I don't get a bonus off my PWV. I just get the commission off my PRV, and that's it. I have to still work just like anybody else. And that's why we get these leadership bonuses down here, because we're putting in the work too. Okay, so
that's also why, like you said, you mentioned it before, and that's also what keeps us from when people say, oh, it's just a pyramid scheme, it's multi-level marketing or whatever. It's a direct sales company that wins multiple
Yep.
awards for their compensation plan alone, let alone just how they do their business.
Yep.
But this compensation plan has been copied so many times by other companies because they realize that Scentsy, when they did it right.
Yep.
And the cream of the crop, the top of the top, still has to work their business in order to get paid. They can't just sit back and collect the money.
Nope.
Like, for instance, Chloe Cox, I think she's got like 4,000 or 5,000 people on her team, something
Insane.
ridiculously insane like that. If she was to just do her 500, yeah, she could probably, get paid. But if she doesn't do her 500, she doesn't get anything. So, you have to put the work in. And then she's also constantly having to recruit because those underneath her are, promoting and going and growing and breaking off. So you always have to fill that bucket. So that's what I love about this company, is that you can't just sit back and collect off your team. You have to put the work in too.
Exactly. And that's why it makes you have these active frontline, because let's just say I joined and say Janine joined right away and I didn't have anybody else join. I didn't talk about the opportunity and then she exploded. I can't explode. I can't move on. I can't promote. That frontline, you guys, so important. Continue to always be talking about the opportunity, always offering it to people, and always helping them. Okay, because we're not a company that you can just join and we get points off of you. It doesn't matter. No, we don't get anything unless you guys are succeeding. That's it. And that is why this is such a good company. We are a genuine company. Authentic, that's our 3 core values, right? Simplicity, authenticity, and generosity. And we are just that. Okay, so I'm gonna stop my screen share and I'm gonna wrap it up because we only have 40 minutes and we're about 5 minutes and I don't wanna get cut off. But thank you, Janine, so much for sharing your goal board. I encourage everybody to do the same. And if you already have a goal board, make sure that it is up to date and it is in a place that you can see it every single day. And if you don't have a goal board, then here we go. You got a great example of a way to do it in a perfect way. So if you have any questions or need help with your goal board, just reach out to your sponsor and they would be, I'm sure, be glad to help you with that. Okay, are we good?
Yeah, I'll post
pictures. Thank you guys so
of
much for hanging out. What'd you say?
I was gonna say I'll post pictures so that they can see them because they were all backwards and you couldn't see them. So I'll just post pictures of what they look like.
It looked fine to me. It didn't look backward. But if you can post, so I'll upload this on YouTube and then you can maybe put it in the comments or something. That would be awesome.
Okie.
Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.